week, arguably. It's also February 29th, Leap Day. Only comes along once every 4 years, like the Olympics, like the World Cup, like elections, but it only lasts one day, like elections do. So equally important as an election day, equally rare, but even more rare than Olympics and World Cup because they last longer. All right, Doug's out of Instagram. How's it going, Doug?
Hey, Matt, how's it going? I'm just so excited
Great.
that it's leap year. This date only comes around ever so often, every 4 years,
Yeah.
like you said. So,
That's right.
It's the bonus
Big
day.
day.
We get an extra bonus, like more days, more time to exercise and thrive and make ourselves better, right? Crush the day. An extra day to crush.
Yep. One more day to live, really. Oh, look, I put my name as yours. I got to fix that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and one more day to not be paid to work for your employer. So employers get a free
one more day.
Free day.
One more sucker day. That's what it is. Brandon
All
knows
right,
what's up. Brandon gets a day off.
Yeah, must be his employer must honor this idea of yours. That leap day is since it's not a contracted work day. All right, Britters, Allie, Sarah Slam, Dale Stevens, good morning to everyone. Hopefully we'll get some more coming in here in a little bit. But yes, it's Thursday. Thursday's a good day. Thirsty Thursday, Doug. You got plans for today as usual? Taco.
I think we're skipping the tacos tonight. We're going somewhere else. But yep, meeting up with the buddies. Gonna grab dinner.
Wow, you can't
drink.
happy about that, huh?
I know. A little disappointing.
Where are you going instead? Trailhead?
We are going to Trailhead, yeah.
Rat? Yeah.
Yeah. Little
thriving town of Black Mountain with 2 places to go.
No, Black Mountain's loaded, but it's just
I guess the only other place.
Yeah. No, I get the tempeh lettuce and tomatoes, like a BLT but with tempeh. Very good.
Okay, good. All right, glad to hear that. I think you promised us a running update, right? Was that today?
Oh no, I'm gonna do that on Tuesday.
Oh, that's next week. Okay. All right, good. Fair enough.
Lots gonna happen this weekend. That's the running update.
Oh yeah. All right. Let me guess what the lot is. A time trial after you've mostly fallen off of this plan that you were so gung ho about, and you're gonna sort of mail it in, get it done.
Could be. Maybe. We'll have to wait till Tuesday to find out.
Okay.
Went for a great run this morning.
Good. But not probably a 5K training run. You probably went for a normal run, just back to the old habits. That'd be my guess. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe he'll shock me with with the work you've done. All right. Britta says she's a fan of my shirt. Big B Coffee. They're a place near my house and celebrated a year of survival in this business climate. So good for them. They're a franchise.
We have a new coffee bakery spot that just opened up today. I'm gonna swing by this afternoon. See what they got.
That probably means there's 3 cafes in Black Mountain now.
4.
4.
5.
Okay. Look at that. All kinds of choices.
There you go.
Very nice. Good.
One of them's Starbucks, but
Oh, okay. Well, that should count as 2, 3. Starbucks is the perfect one. Britta says Big B better than Starbucks. Okay, good. I don't agree with that, but that's fine. All right, good. I don't have anything too much going on. No, really nothing at all. Nothing. I mean, soccer weekend stuff, but nothing too special. So I don't know. Anything else, Doug? Any other pre-show stuff we should get into before we jump into weather report and articles?
I tried to, the other day I was teasing that I was going to use ChatGPT to help me save money on my grocery list.
Yes, right.
And it's kind of failing me. It's like
really?
I can't get it to quite be accurate with pricing and that kind of stuff. So,
where is it pulling prices from?
I don't know, and that's what I can't quite figure out because the prices that it's pulling aren't matching the ones that I'm finding when I go to add to cart. So it's must be pulling some old prices or just making up prices, like just kind of Googling the price of something.
Has ChatGPT kind of been a disappointment? I mean, 6 months ago, we were like, this is going to just change everything. And it's just not that it's just not useful. Like I know it can write something for you if you needed to. It can do your Googling for you essentially and call some things together. That's nice. But it can't actually do any like tasks that
No.
it
enhances some of my work. I'll say that. Or like takes the first initial step out of some of my work. Like I use it to make outlines for certain things and that kind of thing. But then, I mean, you still have to do the work, right? I mean, you still have to make it actually readable.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not a help. It certainly is a helper of a lot of the good things. It can do some really neat things, amazing things. But it just isn't like it just hasn't transformed everyone's life. And I think we all thought that was going to happen.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. You're right.
Big Media X Clause says ChatGPT stopped collecting data in 2021, which I don't believe is true anymore. The new version of the ChatGPT 4.5 or whatever, I think is.
You got to shell out for that, though, right? You got to have your company pay for your access.
You do have to have your company pay for it. Yep.
Yeah.
And I may be wrong about that. That's what I understood, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah,
which could explain why I'm not getting accurate information.
Right. I thought like at some point, I forget what happened with this. It was integrated with Expedia, and I was thinking that it was just going to revolutionize. Like it's just going to find the perfect travel, like, eliminate the need for any travel hacking or like spending hours, piecing together different stuff. And whatever it was, just didn't work. It just didn't have accurate prices. It just wasn't good. I don't know. I'm out on AI. I don't think it's going to be very good.
You think it's just going to like? What about all the created foods?
Yeah, I know. It's going to do what people can do, and it's going to replace people needing to do the stuff. That's good. It's not going to do anything people can't do. That's what I think. It's just not. I don't know. We'll see. What happens.
I think you're wrong on that one. I mean, maybe not in the next 5 or 10 years, but I think you're wrong.
It's not a very informed opinion. I don't know anything about modern AI research, but when I was in grad school for a while, my PhD was going to be on neural networks, and I worked on stuff, and there were certain problems that just seemed insurmountable with the dimensionality as the problems get bigger. As you try to get into like superhuman analysis of a very, very complex situation, it just becomes like giant, the search space for an answer. And I thought there's no way any machine's ever going to figure this out. So as far as I don't know what's happened since then. Obviously, maybe they have done much more than that, but I don't know. I just have the sense that it's going to be way harder than people think to exceed human intelligence. All it can do is dumb computer work really fast.
Well, that's a lot of people's jobs, a lot of people.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dumb computer work.
I'm not saying it's not going to take a ton of jobs. I think it will, but it's not like we're going to suddenly have an Einstein times a billion who's just racking up money for somebody or whatever, taking over the world. We'll see. Could be wrong. All right. Let's jump into things related to our areas of expertise, which is plant-based news and fitness and diet and crypto, because here we go. First up, Sam Bankman-Fried is maintaining his vegan diet in prison, but it's not going very well. Sam Bankman-Fried, for those who don't know, was the FTX founder, and his very, very shady trading and using customer monies for crypto investments kind of went belly up and landed him in jail for a long time. I don't know what the sentence is. I think he's awaiting sentencing. Anyway, Carmine Simpson, or Carmine, I don't know, an ex-NYPD officer who's also behind bars with him, wrote a letter to U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan pleading for leniency on SBF's behalf. He said 12 out of 14 of Sam's weekly meals are just undercooked rice, a soup of disgusting-looking beans, and week-old brown lettuce. But Sam has stayed true to his commitment to not participate in the maltreatment of animals. And this guy, Simpson, was initially skeptical of SBF's motivations, but changed his mind after spending time with him. And he wrote in this letter that when he first told him the reason he wanted to become a successful and wealthy person was to donate all his money away to noble causes and those in need, the guy obviously didn't believe it. And he said, but very quickly, I came to the conclusion that Sam is the most selfless person I've ever had the privilege to meet. And the world would be much better off if Sam Bankman-Fried was out of jail. So this guy, now, this guy Simpson is in jail for production of child pornography, I think, and posing as a 17-year-old on the internet to get child pornography. So like questionable credentials from this person.
Yeah. Do you really want a letter of like your what do you call it? Your recommendation letter to come from somebody in jail for
right?
for
It
those
can't
charges?
hold much weight. I don't think. I don't really know. I mean, a random like other prisoner sending a recommendation letter. Does the judge care at all about that? I don't know. But maybe the lawyers requested this because for some reason it matters. It's still though like does this? I mean, everyone thinks SBF is this villain, but I mean, this is if this is true, it's kind of cool, kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loved him though before he became the villain, right? Before he lost everybody's money, he captivated the world, and there was a reason for that. And I think it was because it seemed like he actually was legit. And either he was just an idiot and mismanaged everybody's money and lost it all, or he had malintention. I don't know. Debatable.
Yeah.
Either way, he should be in jail. Right? I mean,
yeah, right. No, I'm not saying he shouldn't. But he just, I don't know. You just wonder. Like, I don't know. Maybe he, got greedy, obviously, and it just seemed like he couldn't possibly lose, and everything was working out for him, and you just sort of lose your judgment. But maybe he really is a good guy and wanted to be rich to do good things. I don't know. I'm impressed. Basically, just keeping this up in prison, and they showed a picture of him. We lost our video. Doug, you there?
Stay here.
Still?
Yeah, let's just stay here.
All right, so we are no longer on Instagram. It said we got kicked off because our video contained music or something that was copyrighted portraying to somebody else. I don't know. Maybe there's no way AI picked up that I was reading word for word the article.
maybe AI picked up the charges.
Just that I was bashing it. Maybe that I was bashing.
No, the like
ChatGPT.
Well, never mind.
Oh, they heard me say child, the P word.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Could be.
Maybe it'd be odd that you couldn't even like mention that. Anyway, so there you go. There's your SBF update. Meanwhile, Bitcoin going to the moon as this is happening. So too bad he's in jail for missed all that.
He couldn't hold out. I'd probably have plenty of money now. All right. Here's the question though. I wonder, and I wish I had more information. I wonder if all the rice that they're serving is undercooked, like, and they're serving that to everybody, and he just doesn't have all the other stuff that goes along with it.
Right. Probably.
Are they making special rice for him? And special disgusting looking beans and week old brown lettuce. Like, is all the food just really bad in this prison? And he's like having to cut out just only have a couple of little things. Because if I was a judge and I heard that we were serving our prisoners uncooked brown rice and disgusting looking beans and brown lettuce, like,
yeah, you're right.
I don't know. That would be alarming for me.
Yeah, I mean, based on nothing, my guess is they had these foods made anyway, and they give him what they can. Although if he eats 12 out of 14 meals, they probably don't have the same stuff that much. So maybe they're always making him this. Who knows? But you're right. It is an alarming amount of bad food. I mean, it's just too bad that would be what you eat. But it is prison. I mean, it's not supposed to be great. So I don't know. They said someone posted a picture of him on Twitter, like his first prison photo.
Yeah, I saw that. And
it just looked, I was like, man, like he just looks like, they said he hasn't showered that much and doesn't shave that frequently. And it's just like such a contrast from the way he was living to now his food is this and he looks like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
No, not good.
All right. Next up, VFG. We talked about them a couple weeks ago. Made a little bit light of the fact that they said they were going to be vegan Unilever and they were going to be the biggest brand in the world, basically. And we said, okay, good, great. Now go do it. Well, they appear to be doing that. They have now acquired Tofu Town, which is a German manufacturer of tofu. And they've also got Meat This Farm already and VFC, which also was their whole name before they changed into VFG. And apparently it's just the start. So far they're making good on this idea. That's right.
What's tofu?
Look at this. Kate A.K. Rivercat worked with SBF for a little bit, briefly.
Whoa.
He's not in touch with reality.
There you go.
Interesting. I'd like to know the details. please share them here in the Discord.
Absolutely.
What is Tofu Town? I just figured it was a tofu manufacturer, but I don't actually know that for sure. I think I just assumed that they made tofu.
I will take you to Tofu Town.
Okay, they do make things. They do make things besides tofu. They make bratwurst style sausages, and looks like other kind of sausages.
Okay.
So
Tofu Town.
All right. Navia says you can buy your own food in prison, like in the school cafeteria, I guess, where you can either bring or buy.
No. I think they have like little markets, not markets, but like little what do you call them? Provisions? No, what do you call it? I don't know. I know that you can send prisoners money and they can buy certain things.
Mm-hmm.
While
and like
they're
the whole cigarette-based economy where there's cigarettes going around and guards are getting cut in on stuff and swap cigarettes.
That's what happens in the movies.
Yeah,
but but I know the commissary. There you go. You can buy like people buy mac and cheese or something, or I don't know, instant noodles or something like that, just to have like stuff.
Okay, good.
And Mr. Jeffrey says that's capitalism for you.
Yeah, it is. I like that. Okay. So there we go. There's your VFG update, and there's good news coming for. Well, it's mixed news.
Kind of good news.
Oh man, my sound's not working now. What happened? There was sound playing earlier, right?
Yeah, it was really quiet, but I could hear it.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, that failed. I wonder if the AIs are jamming my systems somehow. I'm under
because
attack.
you were talking crap on them, and now they're like, "We'll show you what we can and can't do."
Exactly. All right, so mixed news here about Beyond Meat. Vegconomist, the pro-vegan, sometimes sort of neutral, but site about vegan business. They had a headline saying that Beyond Meat's financial results for the fourth quarter and for the full year ending in December 31st, 2023, they triggered a surge in the stock value because the financial results were better. They beat the analysts' expectations. So it's the first time in a while that Beyond Meat has done something better than what was expected. It still was a 7.8% decrease over the previous quarter four, but it was better than what had been expected. And analysts had guessed 66.8 million, and they'd come in with 73.7 million in net revenues. So that seemed good. Then over at Food Dive, which is just like an industry-wide site, they're not pro-vegan or anti-vegan. They're really very just neutral about that. Their thing was negative, saying Beyond Meat's going to make steep cost cuts to business in 2024 by reducing their operating expenses. They're going to increase the prices for some products and right-size the production footprint, whatever that means. I don't know what that would actually mean. But apparently, they basically said that price decreases hadn't helped because there was so much anti-vegan, anti-fake meat rhetoric happening this past 6 months, whatever, that attempts to lower prices hadn't done anything. They just couldn't cut through all that noise. So now I think that's a justification for putting the prices back up. So there's capitalism for you.
They're up. The Beyond Meat stock is up 30% year to date. That's pretty good, and 60% in the last month.
I mean, it's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's what happens when it's completely in the dumps. Penny stocks. If you had to put your whole life savings in Beyond Meat stock or Bitcoin right now,
Bitcoin.
What do you think is the better buy? Bitcoin might be at a high, right? It could lose the 20% it's gained pretty quickly. Beyond might have nowhere to go but up.
If I was looking for a quick turnaround, maybe Beyond, we can kind of pump it a little bit. Just talk about it positively on the show all the time.
Yep, get some insider trading maybe.
Deal. Yeah.
Find out.
But long-term Bitcoin for sure.
Okay, digital gold.
Digital gold. I'm in it for the long haul, baby.
Okay.
Not financial advice, still.
I think my, along with guessing the Impossible Whopper would go away and that a new vegan cheese player would take over all the others, I think I predicted Bitcoin $500,000 by the end of the year. So we'll see how those three predictions do. I almost went and got an Impossible Whopper yesterday. It would have been my first one. Must be in the year. I don't think I've had one in a long time. But I'm starving at soccer practice because I didn't eat lunch. So I first walked into, where did I walk? I walked into a Jimmy John's, and there was no attendant there. No one was in place. So I stood there, looked at the menu for a while, saw the veggie sandwich had like a avocado spread, and provolone was like what they were advertising on it. So I said, that's not really going to be that good without the provolone. Just avocado spread doesn't seem very good from that place. So I just walked out, and I went somewhere else and didn't get anything. So I ended up not getting anything, but almost got an Impossible Whopper, but they were too far away to get to a Burger King. But at least I was thinking about the Impossible Whopper.
You were thinking about it. There you go. Now we're talking about it now. Would have been good.
Yeah, right.
What about you? Are you putting your money in Bitcoin, or are you putting your money in
if I just had to pick one?
Beyond. Yeah.
I have to go Bitcoin. I don't think long-term Beyond has a future. I really think it's, like you said, it might make a little pump in the short term. But I think they're done. I think the whole fake meat industry is done. Because cultivated meat's going to kill.
I'm not saying that yet, but
I know
my entire life savings. I mean, it is pretty discouraging, and honestly, it's worse than I thought. If this is the 7th consecutive quarter that they've had negative sales, that's bad.
Right. It's really bad. Negative sales meaning they decreased from the previous quarter.
I don't know. I'm reading your copy.
What does sales even mean? I guess change in sales. I'm guessing that's what they obviously didn't sell negative amounts of burgers. It must mean that the sales trend was negative. So they sold less revenue in 7 straight periods. I mean, how bad could it be? That's terrible. How bad could it get?
Yeah.
Who knows? Doesn't seem good. But up 60%, you could have made a cool, decent amount of money if you put your whole life savings in there in the beginning of the year.
Jeffrey says quarter over quarter change. That's probably right.
Yeah. So less each time. All right. Kelly K says, where's Taco Bell when you need it? Yeah, Taco Bell would have been good. I didn't even search that yesterday. I don't know what it is. My appetite shifted, I guess. I got sick of Taco Bell. I had it so much. I got really tired of Taco Bell. But I'll play this sound. And my music's back. All right. Jimmy John's is trash, says Big Meaty X Close. Yeah, I've always had that opinion that they have. I got that veggie sandwich one time. It must have been 7-8 years ago, and I think it came accidentally with mayonnaise or something on it, and I picked it off and like scraped it off and ate it or something. So I was on the road, and this is the first time I've gone to Jimmy John's since, and I did not stay. It was not good. All right. Finally, last bit of news is that the National Consumers League called on the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen to require alcohol and tobacco tax and trade bureau to follow through with proposed nutrition labeling rules. Apparently, they're trying to get labels on the alcohol bottles that tells you how much alcohol, how many calories, serving size, and number of standard drinks per customer or per container. Man, I can't read it really today. For 2 decades, apparently, the government bureau that regulates the products has ignored these calls, but apparently now they're working on it. It's been proposed, and this group is urging them to actually do it. So I don't know why that's interesting to me. It's kind of funny that alcohol here never has had it. I think in other countries it is, but that somehow it's treated as this different thing, doesn't require those labels, even though it's something you put in your body, even though it's something that, works like food in your body, also like poison in your body, but some of it's food. So why are there no labels on it? It doesn't make any sense when you think about it.
It really doesn't. No, I don't know. It'll destroy the beauty of a lot of wine bottles, I will say.
Yeah, it will. But there's already a warning on there, right? That says alcohol may cause health problems, pregnant women, etc. So that's already there. So yeah, I don't see why this shouldn't go on there. The back of the bottle doesn't matter. To me, I think it absolutely needs this, and I would actually like to know this. I'd like to know how many standard drinks, by whatever measure, are in a different bottle of wine or liquor or whatever you might buy. It seems like a good thing to know, or beer. To know like that the IPA you're drinking is basically 2 drinks, not 1. I think that'd be helpful.
Definitely. You
agree, Doug, or you prefer to just ignore that?
No, I think it'd be helpful. I will probably ignore it when it's on there, but it'd be helpful to have to compare.
Yeah, little reminder.
Mhm.
Good. All right, good. So there you go. There's your weather report. Kind of an odd mixed bag of things today. We get 2 articles, kind of 3, but 2 of them are related. The first one I found just random. It's from Business Insider via Yahoo News. It says, I'm a vegan who used to work at Trader Joe's. Here are 8 high quality items I can't believe I've found there. This caught my attention because the very first one was what I had for dinner last night when I got home. When I was so hungry, I could not wait to eat this because I didn't get the Impossible Whopper, didn't get the Jimmy John's. It's the vegan kale, cashew, and basil pesto. Have you ever gotten this, Doug? I've recommended it many times.
I have gotten it. Yes.
You have.
And I like
review?
It. Good. Positive.
Yeah. It's pretty good, right? Considering it has kale in it. Like I typically wouldn't think kale is a good idea in pesto. But this does. It's also vegan, of course, because they're using cashews instead of Parmesan cheese. Or I guess that's sort of what it's replacing. And it's great. So Aaron made the old pasta with potatoes and green beans and 2 containers of this stuff, and it was delicious.
2 containers.
What'd you try, Doug? Yeah, she made a large amount of the vegetables. Because if you put it like when you have a whole pound of pasta and then you add in potatoes and green beans, that soaks up a lot of pesto. So she went with double it up, and it was actually really good.
I tried to make kale basil pesto, cashew pesto.
It
was not good. No, the kale ruined it.
I wonder how they do it. Is kale the first ingredient?
It's probably just a little bit of it.
Right.
Hold on. I'm sharing my screen here, and I just screwed everything up. All right. Okay. Here we go. We're back. What's the second item?
What's the first item? Oh, in the list? I think you're talking about what the ingredients. They call it vegan kale, cashew, and basil pesto.
Kale is kale, then olive oil.
Well, that's shocking. I don't understand how they can make it good with that in there. Because it just tastes like regular basil pesto. All right. Big Meaty X Claus agrees that it is incredible. And Big Meaty X Claus, little foreshadowing, mentions the pre-made vegan raviolis because that's coming. Get ready for that. All right. Next up, after the pesto, the vegan Caesar dressing. You had this, Doug?
Yeah, I have, and I like this.
Why are you laughing?
This a lot because you're just screwing up everything.
I know my words are all jumbled today. I like this, but then I got sick of it. So we don't get it anymore. But it has tofu, olive oil, lemon juice, white miso, Dijon mustard, capers. And you can make your own vegan Caesar dressing, by the way.
Yeah, I've never done that. I miss Caesar salads. I mean, like they're so simple, but so good. A good Caesar salad is just so good.
They are really good. I will text you a picture. I have a kale Caesar salad recipe from Vegan for Everybody. And it's fantastic. It's like one of the kids' favorite meals. So I will text you a picture of that recipe next time we make it, and you can make it at home. Very simple dressing. Like this one, you don't use tofu, though. You use vegan mayo, but it's very good.
You know, Matt, you should put it in the Discord instead of texting it.
I should do that. You're right. All right, next time I make that, I'll put the picture in the Discord.
All
right, next up, their heavy whipping cream alternative. Vegan heavy whipping cream alternative. I've never seen this product, did not know it existed, and I don't know what's in it, but I guess that sounds good. I mean, like I usually would use coconut milk in place of heavy whipping cream if that ever comes about in a recipe, but then that adds a coconut flavor. So that's not great. You ever use this?
Nope, never heard of it. What is it?
Never
made out of? Do you know?
I don't know. No. So that would definitely would impact how good it is. Depends what it's made out of.
Is that a strawberry on the front?
Yeah, it's like dipped in strawberry, I guess.
Oh, for like dip. Okay, got it.
If you were to whip it up, yeah.
Next,
Korean beefless bulgogi. This kind of looks good. I don't know what it's made out of. Again, this seems to be the theme here. We don't know what things are made out of, but this seems kind of good. What seems better is the next one, Thai green curry. They use tofu sheets, which I mentioned yesterday, vegetables, and jasmine rice. And I mean, green curry is just delicious. So it's a frozen meal. They say it packs a surprising flavor punch, and it doesn't skimp on quality. So I think I'm going to get that next time I'm at Trader Joe's. As a little,
I have had that one many times. It's very good.
And it is good?
Very positive review for me.
As good as going to Thai basil and Black Mountain?
No. And I'll tell you why. Because all of Trader Joe's frozen meals, to me, are like 2/3 of a portion.
Oh. Okay. So you need to buy 2.
You need to buy 2, or like have a big thing of sourdough bread or something alongside it. I don't know.
Good old Thai food and sourdough bread, and a match made in heaven.
or a big kale salad or something. I don't know, but something along. It's just it's I'm not filling enough for me.
Right. Okay. Good. Corn chips. You didn't mention corn chips. That would have been perfect.
Corn chips would be perfect.
Dip it in there.
Would actually be a good addition.
All right. Next up is garlic spread dip, and I actually don't know why I've never heard of this or seen it. It seems like something I would be interested in. I guess because it just sounds so nondescript. Like it's not hummus, it's not baba ganoush. It's just garlic dip. So I don't know. I mean, I'll check it out next time I'm there. Again, you need to know what's in here, but we don't right now. Japanese style fried rice. That's next. I don't know what makes it Japanese style. It has edamame, tofu, and hijiki seaweed. So there you go. And finally, number 8 from a former Trader Joe's employee who's vegan. I mean, where else? What better source is there than that? Vegan spinach and cashew ravioli. This is something that we keep in our refrigerator. Holden makes these for lunch very often. They also have a red sauce version where the inside is like tomato-y and lentils, and they're both good. Both really. I'd say this one is better.
What do you put on top of it? Anything? Just oil?
You could toss this with pesto. You could just drizzle it with. Usually, what we do is drizzle with oil and then put our vegan sprinkle Parmesan on top, and then you don't lose the flavors. Nice. So there you go. There's your Trader Joe's list. They really do have a remarkable amount of good vegan things there, if you know what you're looking for. Like it's just so much different from a regular store relative to how small Trader Joe's is. It's just a lot of vegan stuff. All right, there you go. There's Trader Joe's, and then the other thing we've got today is
Scott says that the Korean beef is good. It's soy protein. I use it when I feel Doug inspired and want a burrito. Sounds good.
Like a Korean burrito? Okay, I guess that's good. Like a fusion kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great to
Doug
me.
doesn't do that. Do you do fusion with your burritos, Doug, or you keep them strictly?
Sure. Yeah. I have any type of burrito.
Any type of burrito. Okay, good. All right. So it's Thursday, so we got some Best Life Online stuff. But then Best Life Online actually pointed me to another article from today.com, which is where the main things comes from. So here's the deal. This came out this was August 16th that USA Today put this out. Texas woman, 114, the second oldest in the U.S., shares simple tips for a long life. She's now the first oldest because her competition died in February of, I think, earlier this year. So now this woman is the oldest, and we have her longevity tips. So here's what she did, Doug. Here's the most important thing she did. And then we'll talk about the other thing, the woman who died ahead of her, Edith Cesarelli, what she did. And there's some interesting tips here. So she's from Texas, and I'm trying to find quickly in a few words what she said. She has a positive attitude, enjoyed the family, try to do the best thing you can to everybody, love everybody. And that did seem to be a common trait here among these super centenarians. I looked up a third one too and was seeing what she had said to do. But anyway, this woman always cooked at home. I just think she enjoyed cooking, Harrison says. I guess she doesn't cook now. That's what they're using the past tense because she's still alive. But she grew her own vegetables, including collard greens, mustard greens, carrots, and okra. So good Southern vegetables. And she'd bring the produce right into the house and cook it. And I mean, there you go. She regularly walked. She never smoked or drank alcohol and took care of herself, went to church, very optimistic. And ultimately, she credited her faith in God for keeping her alive for so long. So the reason I thought this was interesting is that this is exactly what the Blue Zones people do. Like my first thought was, what are we going to learn from one person who's old? Like, so what, right? They could have had great genetics. It doesn't tell us anything compared to looking at larger groups and kind of making more of a study of it. But then what was remarkable is that it just all lined up perfectly with what the Blue Zones people do, with the gardening and the walking and the being positive and the being around family and the cooking your own food and this faith in God, which you don't have to have that, but you have to have something that gives you this sense of purpose. I don't know. I just thought that was striking. So I think this is cool. And 114, that's a pretty long time. I would take that. If I offer you that right now, Doug, you can live to 114. Do you want it? That means you throw away the risk of living, the chance of forever or 500 or whatever we might get. You'd accept 114
I mean,
today.
of course. If I can remain healthy, and active until 114, of course, that would be. There's no way I'm going to live longer than 114.
But you're setting your sights low, though. That's like 70 years from now, right? So
I know.
More than that. That's 75. So you think in the year 2100, we're not going to have people who are living to be 1,000? Well,
maybe people who are born, maybe not 1,000. No,
they couldn't be 1,000 yet. They'll only be 75 more than they are now.
Maybe my kids' kids, maybe my grandkids will live to be 200. I think if you and I live to be 114, that would be incredible, and can do it in a way that we're not like bedridden, hooked up to a bunch of machines.
I think that is far, far underselling what we could get. I would not take 114 right now if you offered me it. I would say no deal, and I would keep pushing my luck, spin again.
That's wild.
Going for 250 or so.
250? There's no way. If everyone lives to 250, if everybody who's our age right now lived to 250, the world would be over as we know it. There'd be way too much population.
Definitely there'd be major problems.
There'd be no money because we'd all be pulling Social Security way longer than it's designed for. Everything would be. I mean, the food systems would break. Everything would be over. I hope that you and I don't live to 250.
It's a good point. It's a good point that when people predict that we might live this long, they're not accounting for like just the mayhem that would ensue along the way, and that would kill people, probably a whole lot of people. And I'm sure the oldest people, us,
we'd all be killing each other looking for food. Yeah.
Right. And we're not going to fare well because we'll be the oldest of the bunch. Some of the oldest of the bunch.
That's right. The first to be like a.
All right. Mr. Jeffrey says, isn't the average lifespan in the USA on a decline? Yes, that's true. But yeah, I mean, that's mainstream. That's normies. We can't count what normies are doing. That's the average lifespan. All right. Netflix show on Blue Zones was entertaining and approachable, says Big Media Clause. Yeah, I need to go watch that again. I just kind of listened to it halfway out of one ear while I was doing other stuff. But I'd like to go watch it because I do like the Blue Zone stuff. And Kate thought we'd have flying cars by 2020. Yeah, I probably would have guessed that we would have that by 2020.
There's no way we're living to 250. 114 is correct. I will take that. I'll take that and my Bitcoin, and I'll be sailing away. I was actually what my first thought when I was reading this, because I've been talking about retirement savings and stuff with Katie recently, is how do you plan to live that long? Like, you would have to have your retirement would have to be so much bigger than, if you're planning to live to 150 versus 85 or 90 or whatever,
Right. It's like 3 or 4 times as many incomeless years that you have to then survive. It's like a massive difference. You're right. That itself would be a problem. Mm-hmm. Major changes would happen if people started living that long. The whole world would be upended. All right. Let's get to the other woman here. Edith Cesarelli. She turned 116 on February 5th of, I think, 2024. And then I think she just died like really recently. This is from very quick clicking around and researching, so I may be wrong. I hope I didn't falsely proclaim her dead, but I'm pretty sure she did. Her tips I like also lines up with Blue Zones. She only had 2 tips. She put them in the same sentence too, and they're unrelated. Let me just find here. She says, have a couple of fingers of red wine with your dinner and mind your own business. That's her secrets.
That's her secrets.
That's all you got to do.
I love those secrets. I think that's great. I mean, the wine is good for, like, that's a fun one. But I think the mind your own business one, because there's so much more to it, right? That's like not getting stressed out because you're like not taking on stress. You're not getting involved in a bunch of gossip, and you're just kind of like living your life. You're doing your thing. Your happiness is all coming from yourself. I think it's great.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I think it's a good thing. Don't get involved in other people's junk. She was the second oldest person in the whole world, behind a woman from Spain. I don't have her longevity tips, but she was only 11 months older. I don't know if she's still alive or not. They mentioned also of this American woman who we're talking about here, that she played basketball and tennis and took up the saxophone when her mother saved up to purchase the instrument. So that's a good thing. Playing musical instruments, playing sports. She dressed well. She'd walk. Had a bite of carrot cake at her birthday party. So none of these. I was trying to find like were these people vegan, vegetarian, anything like that. No one said anything. One of their relatives said she ate everything, pretty much. So, but I think it sounds like a lot of healthy foods, but there was nothing that was off limits. So I don't think any of these women was vegetarian or vegan. One said she ate eggs and strawberries and bananas every morning for breakfast, which she, I think, made herself or something. So anyway, I mean, again, still all this fits the Blue Zone story. Who knows what they have left out here, omitted to make the story better. But I don't know. I'm impressed that this seems to be consistent with what we already think is the formula for living a long time.
Kate says part of the equation seems to be female.
Well, I think females do live longer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
traditionally. So yeah, it does.
Alex,
I had this question from Alex. This is why I was surprised that you like the mind your own business, because it sounds like it's the opposite of living in community. It sounds like you sort of keep to yourself, be a hermit, stash away your Bitcoin.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what that means. I think it means like not putting yourself into situations where you don't belong, with like into drama that's happening from neighbors that or strangers or something like that. But but you can still have community. You can still welcome people into your home. You can still be invited into their home, because you're not minding your own business means like, hey, I'm not talking to you right now, but out. Right?
It does mean that I'm not talking to you right now.
Yeah,
but
I think that's what it means. Yeah, like mind your own business. Get out of here. I'm not. You're not invited into this debate that I'm having. To this drama in my life, right?
Sure. Yeah. Good. All right. Mr. Jeffrey points out astutely that if everyone lived to 115, they'd work until 90, because then 90 would be like 65. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? If everyone was healthy enough to live to 150 or something, we'd probably be healthy enough to work for longer, so we'd be able to keep getting money on the way there. And then Mr. Jeffrey says, isn't it, men don't live as long because they tend to do more dangerous activities? I didn't know if that was actually the reason or not, but that's interesting if it is. And maybe it's because men have to barbecue to be manly and eat giant slabs of meat with no veggies. I mean, I bet men do eat more meat than women, so it wouldn't be shocking if that was correlated with the sooner death rate. Anyway, there you go. That's it. That's our show. We are done for the week. Thank goodness, because the wheels came off of my ability to talk and read things. Not sure why. Got a good sleep last night, but
maybe too good.
It's possible. Maybe got too much sleep.
Yeah.
All right. So you got a big running weekend. You'll have an update for us on Tuesday. That'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all we got.
Everyone else? That's all there is.
Enjoy. Thanks for attending. Thanks for commenting. Week of shows and activity and participation and all that. So we will keep the party going. We've got No Meat Athlete Radio tomorrow. That's 1 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be at least 3 of us. Not sure about 4, but we'll figure out a topic, and the 4 of us will debate as we did last week and the week before that and the week before that. So check that out live on YouTube. And otherwise, we will see you on Tuesday.